I don't know. Well, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Oh, and that's of course an unknown as well, because we don't have the numbers to say that, but that's what it's been appearing to be, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people dying of the flu. But anyway,
There is.
we better get rolling here. Part of this dribble we just did is going to be on there. So, okay, let me mute you guys out, and let's see. Ron's wouldn't. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I can't get Ron. You got an offline one there, and I can't get it to mute out. So, don't blurt anything out. You may come on. Okay. But I'm hoping that everyone here has been healthy this week. I had one. There, we're all here. I had one in California who did have a flu, and he's much better. He didn't have it. Okay. I'm back to Golden Slippers. Let's just try to get it behind us. We don't need to spend a lot of time there. I want to work out the double stops there, okay? Let's see. I'm going to go in about, and we talked about the drone last week, I think, on the third measure. Not easy to do at a higher speed, but you want to try it anyway. Just beat on this thing for an hour. You'd think it'd learn to stay put. Okay, let's see. Is that going to be too fast for anyone? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Was anyone with me at the end there? That's my usual way to find out how you did. I had a few there. Good for you. Good. Okay. We're not going to linger there. Has anyone gotten great at playing You Are My Sunshine in these double stops? I know, I forgot to do it. My dog ate it. Okay, we'll just go on to... Oh, Rich did? Good for you, Mr. Rosenthal. Unless that's a question, then throw it back up there. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go into Down Yonder. You know, if more of you had played that You Are My Sunshine and got used to it, it's not like you're going out every day now. We would have played through it here. So maybe next week, you know, we'll get to do it. It's let me play through it though, just to make sure that if you had any questions on where you're going to find everything. Is that whereabouts yours was, Rich? Okay, let's run through Down Yonder, and we'll do our add-in licks too. Any questions on those at all? Anyone got? All right, so now play this run with me now. Is this too fast for anyone right now? Okay, now I'm going to speed it up and throw a hand up when it gets too fast. That's the same speed. Okay, so just before that speed, then that's what will determine the speed of the whole song. So we're at about this. That's the speed that all of you can handle now. Let's go through it. We'll go through it twice. The first time we'll do it as it's written. Second time we'll add our stuff in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Good luck. Let's pick it up one time. I'm gonna stick the licks in here. Okay, so the first couple times through, that we did it 3 times. So the first couple times through, who was with me there? Good. And then that last time, was anyone with me on the last one through? Hey, I had one there. Oh, good, I had a couple. Good for you. Okay, good. Yeah, I had to look up. I'm getting this flashing going on over here. I think one of my bulbs is going out. We had an issue also. We'll do this at this point. Like 8 minutes before I had to come on for my first class. I don't know if you can see that flashing. It's kind of distracting. I had we had a power went pop, pop. You know, the lights. It just kind of like went black. It's like you turn the switch on and off. Anyway, that cut the internet. If that ever happens and we're doing class, what I typically do is leave the door open here. Let's see if it goes on again. And I keep recording as if we were just running the class. And then, of course, you're all doing great. And, you know, it happened one time. My internet went out. It went out for the rest of the class. But the class there, like you guys, could still talk to each other. Because it didn't go out for you and you already synced into the system. That was I didn't know. Okay, I got Angeline the Baker here. Now we got 2 ways we're doing this now. Any question on that drop D? No questions there? Okay. All right, let's play it straight first, and that typically is really just to get the song back in our heads, right? And you can do the chord or no chord method. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, let's play through this puppy. This is not. Is this too fast for anyone? You know, that 6th string is so rubbery. If you have it in tune and you're playing it light, when you hit it hard, it's going to be out of tune. So it'll be flat. Or it'll go sharp when you hit it hard. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There. Okay, so is any questions on that part? Let's go into the strum to the first beat of the measure on these chord changes. Any questions on that? Because it's not every measure, right? Any questions there? So let's go at about. Let's go at about that speed, because I want to make sure you're hitting it. If that ends up being too fast, if anyone drops off, just throw a hand up, all right? So I know, and if I see several go up, if you drop off like you, I call it falling down. If you fall down while we're playing this, throw a hand up so I know, but try to pick yourself back up and jump back in there. If I see multiple hands go up, then I know the whole thing is just too fast. So we're looking at this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, I didn't see anyone falling off a log right here. So did everyone get through there with me? Now, okay, so let's do this. Once you use the chat box, and let's do our 1 to 5 rating, where 1 really stinks, and then 5 is the best it could possibly be. It should be a gold album, and 3 is in the middle, and you know where 2 and 4 is. Go ahead and hit the chat box so I got an idea, because I only saw a couple hands go up there, which makes me think there's still issue. But Rich, throw a hand up on this. You did get through it, right? I mean, it didn't have to be great. Yeah, same with you, Aaron. Yeah, okay. But that meant you got through it. I don't care. And I'll tell you what, it will never be perfect. You know, I even blew mine. Yeah, threes are fine. 2.5's fine. Particularly at this point, because we just added that stuff last week. So really, don't be so hard on yourself. If you dragged yourself across the finish line, you made it. That's what I'm going for. Okay? All right. I want to add one more thing into this. And it's a hammer-on pull-off triplet. Do this. Hit the first string open. Now you can see what I'm going to do is hammer onto the 2nd fret and pull it off as a triplet. But you can see, even as I set it up to be a triplet, I'm not coming in my usual form where I'm floating like a butterfly with lots of air. I bring my knuckle up against the fingerboard so I can cam off it. See that? I don't know if everyone has to do it, but that's what I do if I'm doing hammer-on pull-offs. I use I pull against the wood. Open the 2 to open. Okay, does anyone have any question on that? It's an open 2 open hammer-on pull-off. Now it's going to go in several places here. There's another one we're going to do, which is just a open on the 2nd string, open 3 open pull-off. Okay. Open 3 open. And there's one more that we're going to do. So it's an open 2 open. And this will make more sense when we get into it. The last one we're going to do is on the 1st string 2 to 5 to 2 hammer-on pull-off. Now there I've got my my air right there. Okay, so it's 2 to 5, which you may feel the burn on that one in the back of your hand. Okay, now what we want to do is mark the page. Okay, let me show you the way I wrote one. Let's see if I can find it there. There it is. Now to show you where we're at, we're on the 2nd line, 2nd measure. Okay, the 2nd note, that open 1st string, I've now turned it into an open 2 open triplet. And you can see I wrote the open 2 open there. I did 3 lines down and then beamed them together. That's my triplet. I put 2 little slurs over them so we know it's a hammer-on pull-off. Okay? Open 2 open, and I just wrote it up there so I knew that over that note, 2nd line, 2nd measure, 2nd note, it was going to have a hammer-on pull-off. Let's see. So now, in the 3rd measure, 2nd line, 2nd note, same thing. Okay, that open there is now going to be an open 2 open. And then the last note of that 3rd measure is going to be the open 3 open, because you can see it starts on the 3rd string, 2nd string. If you did an open 2 open, it wouldn't sound right. So it's playing off of that G chord right there, and that note's in the G chord. Okay. So now that line sounds like this. 2nd line. would actually sound like this. Okay, any questions there? All right, so now the 2-5-2 is going to be measure 10, that 2 there. So you got the 5, and then the 2-5-2 hammer-on pull-off. So you'll have your strum, hammer-on pull-off. Okay, so the second note there is going to have a 2-5-2 written over it. Okay. Second measure, third line, the open is going to have an open 2 open over it. Okay, third measure, the 2 is going to be back to 2-5-2. Then that's regular. Measure 14, that last line, 2-5-2 on the 2. Open 2 open on the second measure. Third measure, open 2 open. Second note. Fourth note, open 3 open. Okay? And really, that's just like the second, if you look at the second line, second and third measure, that's the same. All right? Okay, so we only have those on the, it starts on the second line, there's nothing on the first line. They don't have to go real fast. It's not like it's a triplet, but it has to be in time with everything else. So if you're going to play slow, just take your time getting through the triplets, but it has to go 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Okay, back to the top. I have a repeat sign. Okay, that'll make a really nice piece. Any questions on that? The only other thing I would say to do on Angela and the Baker is maybe work your lead out an octave lower, if you can, you know. I hate when I forget that string's down there. Okay, and nothing else there? Okay, let's move into Soldier's Joy. I'm looking at any notes that I might have. We had talked about on Soldier's Joy, because I think several of you already knew this one, was to figure the second part out an octave lower. Was anyone successful there? Hey, good. Yeah, I had a couple. Okay, we will do it. Let me find out what's out here while you guys are scrambling to learn that an octave lower. Okay. Are we okay at that speed? Is that too fast? Okay, that's where we're going. I see no complaints or objections. All right, let's do it like we have it written there. I want to do the octave lower part as a separate thing, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Back to the top. Hold it here a second. Hold it here a second. Now, the reason I wrote it out this way, you know, the way Soldier's Joy works is the first, third, and fifth measure are really the same. You can take that first measure and put it where the third and the fifth is. Right? You can take the third measure and put it where the first, third, and fifth is. Let's see. Not as comfortable. And you can take the fifth measure and put it in all three of those spots. Okay, so if you're real comfortable with the fifth measure, let's put it in the first and third and fifth measure. Okay, let's try that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Back to the top. Second part. Alright, so that's one thing you want to do. The other thing, let's go ahead and learn this an octave lower. Now, there's 5 of you here, 2 of you threw hands up, so the other 3 are going to be grunting and groaning and drooling and dribbling while you're trying to find this, but actually get your fingers on it and try to find it. You may want to call your honey in with a washcloth right now so that as you start to drool, she can just come and wipe your chin, okay? So we're starting on the 5th string 3rd fret. It's this, right? So da 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 da. Okay, I'm sure you got that. Okay, then the first one again, and this G7 round starts on the 4th string 3rd fret. But it should fall right under your fingers because you have the part in your head. Okay, so let's try this at this speed. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Hold it there, hold it there. Okay, so throw a hand up if you were not with me there. Everyone's with me? Okay. Let's start from the beginning again of the measure 10. 2, 3, 4. I like to do, and you don't necessarily have to do it, but you see, when we do this part, this first finger is crying out, say, please use me, please, please. Oh, it's over. So what I do is actually shift up. There's no first frets. Even if I did, I would just go back for the 1. See if you can do it with your first and second finger only. This is when you'll really need the jewel rag. It may just be better just to cover this part up. 1, starting with your second finger on the 3rd fret. 2, 3, 4. Did anyone get through that with your first and second finger? It's kind of curious there. Practice that. Okay, good. I got a couple in. Practice it that way. Mostly good. Because it's a mindset thing. Even if you're playing in C, doesn't mean that you have to play in first position. When I play in C on the low part, I'm in second. But when I move into the high part, as I have to get into here and here, then I'll shift. Like Black Mountain Rag's a perfect example. See, I shifted right at the end, or right in the middle of that. Now on this last run, I want to stay there. I could shift, but this note dropped off. See, it's still ringing. Still ringing. You know? So, and same like if you does anyone do Jerusalem Ridge? So Gordy does. So try that if you do it in the low octave like that is. See if you can do it with the first and second finger. You look for songs that are like that. It's in A minor, but the low side of A minor, there's not going to be any first fret notes, so you may as well shift up. When you get into the high side, you have to come back here because that's the way the chord is laid out. You know? Okay. All right, so now we want to race on Soldier's Joy next time in, and we want to get the octave lower part. Okay, so don't let that slide away. All right. Let me ask you this. Did I... This add-in page was... did I send that today? Just someone throw a hand up if you... Okay, you got it then. All right. Because, you know, the reason I don't remember to do it is because I didn't write this. Someone else did. What we did one day was we did a... we were just... I was in class. We were talking about this pattern. Just one that's going to take you through G stuff over here, hitting an open string, first string open, and shifting to the next G position, which is this one, not this one, because this one, I can play all the notes that are in this chord in this area. The highest note I would hit playing in this chord would be this A. So I don't have to shift anywhere to do it. It's when I want to get to a B. It's when I want to get to that B. Now I could have just slid. I could have stayed here for that lick. I don't know where that came from, but if I'm doing like a Katy Hill, something like that, I'm going to shift up here. But all I'm doing is shifting from G here to G here. Okay, when you get up here, let's look at the, on this, I don't know what to call this page, 102 lesson 5 page. What actually happened was I played this and someone said, can you write it down? I said, no. I showed it to you. Why do I need to write it down for you? And so he wrote it down and sent it to me and said, does this look right? Because he had to have it written down. I said, well, okay, as long as you've done that, I may as well incorporate it. But so look at the second measure where the 8 starts, 8 to 10 to 7. Let's take it right there. Yeah, it should have come out today. I asked, that's why I asked, did you have this one? And I had a couple hands go up. Did you guys got this? Yeah, I got a hand went up. So yeah, it should have been in your group. It would have been 2. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to talk about it now anyway, and then you didn't get it, Gordy? How would one person get it and the other not? That's what I don't understand. And see, it's too. Oh, now that may be, yeah, that may be. Sorry about that. Yeah, that may very well be, because sometimes I just don't see it there. Okay, so you have it. All right. And Rich, you're sending it to me in private. Go ahead and open it up to everybody so that they know. Not now. No. Mr. Rosenthal is sending it to private. Yeah. Okay. So let me appreciate it. Let me do this, and since it was just in the Dropbox, I just want to go through the explanation part on this before we get into Arkansas Traveler. Okay, we're going to have the melody is this that I want to look at. Just right there. You're going to start on the second string 8. Go ahead and hold that down with your second finger. Then you're going to go to a 10 on the second string, and that's going to be your little finger. What we do when we're playing in this area, we're playing out of this chord, right? That's your G chord, D at the 7th fret. All right, there's the nut. So D at the 7th fret. But you don't play with these fingers. You play with your first finger at the set, hits anything on the 7. Your second finger hits anything that comes on the 8, third finger on the 9, little finger on the 10. Okay? And see, even if I took the time to send it right now, some of you might not be able to print it out in time. So let's just leave it at that. It's in your Dropbox folder. And if you need me to, I can attach it tonight, but I'll forget by the time I get to it. But it's in the Dropbox folder. All right? But anyway, I'm talking you through it right now. When you get up to the 8, it's going to be your second finger, little finger on the 10. So if I said second string, second finger, second string, little finger, you would have known that the little finger was going to the 10, because that's what it's going to do. And then first finger on the 7 on the first string, back to the second string 10, little finger, 8, and then we have an open. And it's actually, if you took it from here, from a D on the second string, 3 on the second string, first string open, and then jump to the 8, second finger, little finger, first string 7, second string 10, 8, first string open. We use the open to jump from here to here. So what the whole run looks like is this. Okay, so what we're trying to do, or play this. And we're doing it starting in second position because it's a G run. Second finger on the third fret. Open 2, 3, 4 to the third string open. Okay, hit it again. 3, 4. then throw a hand up when you're doing this with me. We'll do it a couple more times. Keep playing it there. Okay, one last time. Okay. Okay. Now it's going to continue. We go when we hit that last open. It's going from there. It's going to be this. Almost the same melody. So it's a G A B C, G A B C, D E. Then you shift down to the 8, 10, 7 on the first string. So the two measures there will sound like this. That 7 is the first note of the next measure. Let's see if we can play that. 3, 4. Okay, then the rest of it is just coming down. It's not the same notes, but it's coming down descending now. So it's a to there. Now, when you get this sheet, and we're at 45 minutes, 15 seconds. When you get this sheet, what I think is better, let's see if I can move it over to the end. See the last note I wrote it in, it's a 2 on the 6th string. Instead of landing on the 6th string 3rd fret to resolve the whole thing, if you hit the 2 as the last 8th note, then you can turn it into a loop and just keep going. See? And you'll notice I don't have to look until I have to jump. Okay? I didn't really look then because I was talking to you. But I look for the jumps. I don't have to look at the rest of it down here because the frets are in the same place they were yesterday. But it's you want to look for the jump. And all I have to do is look for the double dots here because I know I'm going to land past the double dots on the 2nd string. Okay? And then I'm in position. What this exercise does is get your hand used to playing into here and shifting to here. And I hit it. You see? Right? Shifting from here back to here, up to here, back to here, up to here, back to here, right? That's what we have to get our arm used to doing. And it's getting this muscle memory of all these muscles in here used to pivoting to the spot, and you're actually having to pull back a little bit. You pull your arm back a little bit. Physically, that's kind of what happens. It changes, and your bicep, the low part of your bicep, right here, next to the bend joint, has some kind of change to it as opposed to playing over here, which is more extended. Okay, so you have to get used to the feel of going there, because that's where we're going to go to next. If you're playing along and you're looking for a high note, your spidey sense tingles and you say, oh, I need a high note, you're going to jump up to here next. If it wasn't here, you're going to jump up to here next. Here's your G that you're jumping into. And the next one is that chord, and the next one is there, which would be this chord. Okay? So anyway, this exercise sounds like this. Over and over till you get used to going right to there. Okay. All right. Questions, comments? I'm sorry that I didn't get it in the 1 o'clock package, but it'll be in your Dropbox, okay? And then you'll have it there to go over. All right, let's look at this Arkansas Traveler. That I know you got, and what we're doing here is we're working this into a Norman Blake kind of solo, okay? The first part has Norman-esque kind of things in it. I really like Norman. The people that we do in this class will do stuff of mine. We do Norman Blake, we do Dan Crary, and we do Doc Watson. And I'll let you know when, oh, this is a great Doc lick. This is something I learned from Dan Crary. This is something from Norman Blake. I don't do much Tony Rice because Tony Rice, you know, and a lot of times the way he plays, it's not easy to do, but it's hitting the easy button because it gets away from the melody of the actual song that's being played. Unless he's doing like a Gordon Lightfoot song, something that has a real strong vocal melody to it, he gets away from it. And it just was not appealing to me, so I never really studied it. Okay, so anyway, let me run this Arkansas Traveler. You'll see that it sounds a little bit of Norman, and we're going to add to it. Neat. All right, so taking it from the top, what I like about the Norman way is that, you know, Dan did it. Etc. It's more of a flat picking fiddle tune style. Norman turns it into a guitar piece. And that's what's so neat about it. So I'm going to start with my C chord. That was not a dry cough. No, don't worry. It's allergies here. You know, we're 12 inches over rain for the year. For the year already. God, it's just March. 12 inches over. So you can imagine what's going on out there. It's raining right now. Okay. We're going to start, I always start this one holding my C chord. Shift it into the A minor, G7 into C. Okay? Shouldn't be any real problem right there. Slide up. Back again. Instead of the strum here, he sticks in this. I just always really like that. Okay. That's the usual shaving a haircut, 2 bits. Shaving a haircut. Now, at the end of the second line, it says pick in the middle of the strings. Doesn't mean you. What I had to, my mindset when I was learning a run like this was if I hit the 2 and then the 3, it's really playing a C chord. And if I just keep my pick to the middle between the strings instead of on the outsides, then I would get my down ups correct. Right? So it's playing the C and then a G and then a C. C, G, and my pick just stays on the inside. It never does come to the outside of the string. And that's all that means there. So if you have trouble with a lick of some kind, you have to get it in your head how it's supposed to go. So you have to analyze it and say, so for me to analyze that lick, I say, okay, stay on the inside of the strings. Don't go to the outsides. Stay to the insides and just down, up, okay? That's what that's about. Going into the second part, when I hit the third string on the first note measure 9, I'm not just hitting the third, I'm holding my chord down, first 2 fingers of C, but I'm going to swing it wide so I get a little harmony. Okay? You can hear the first string is like a glancing blow. Then a regular strum. It says F, but I'm just going to hit the F note and still strum the C chord. Okay? This is Norman. And this is the kind of thing I mean. I'm going to hit the melody note, which is the 3-2 open 2, but I'm going to hit a harmony note with it. Okay? Again, end of the third line, I'm going to hit the third string as my main note, but I'm going to glance onto the second string. And it just fills it out, and that's why it sounded full when I went through it. It sounds like this. Everywhere I'm hitting a glancing blow to the next string. See what I mean? Okay. Takes us up to the last 2 measures. And then hammer it on and leave it ringing. Okay. All right, any questions on this one? This is going to be fun. We're going to do some nice stuff with this. Okay, well, let's leave it there. And I hope you all stay healthy and safe this week. And when you go, oh, the metronome. Thanks, Ron. Ron had asked. I hope we got time to do this. I hate these software updates. I tell it to do it later, and it says, do you really want to do it later? Let me find metronome. Here it is. Okay, I use this metronome on my phone. And I think Ron was getting at what's the best way to practice with it. I play it slow. I'm going to set it to 100, but then I'll play double time to it. And you can hear that. That's 100. And if I was playing normal to it, quarter note. So I'm hitting my quarter notes on that. Now, you notice I turned it up. One thing playing with the metronome, it has to be loud enough that you hear it. If I couldn't hear that while I was playing, I would have to use headphones to beef it up even louder. Because it needs to go pow, pow, pow. The other thing, if you go to a pawn shop, you can get a drum machine. Roland made some little nice ones and stuff like that, and you can run that into some kind of speaker system. Pow, pow, pow. But it would go boom, chick, boom, chick, boom, chick, boom. So I've got it set on 100. I practice a double speed to it. But it's loud enough that I can hear that, okay? And you probably heard it there too. But that's the thing is you can. The reason we get used to playing it double time. So it's set on 100, but I was playing it at 200. And the reason we do that is because eventually you're going to play faster than the metronome can that they're set for. The highest they go up is like 235 or so, but we're going to play at 250, 275. A fiddle tune is set at 228. Arkansas Traveler full speed is 228, so I would set it on 114 and then play double time to that. I hope that helps you there, Ron. Okay, let's leave it there then. It's about to click off, and then we run off. Then I don't get to say goodbye. So, all right, we'll see you next week. Have a safe week this week. I hope you're successful on your toilet paper run. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Okay, bye.